In Odd Reviews, Odd Media, we're at part 131, Truthfully Yours. This book came out in February and it looked great, so I bought it to give it some love in the series, but then it was super incredible and I had a great time, and now I'm genuinely trying to convince all my friends to buy it and read it because it's a great time. The book is about an autistic girl named Charlie who does cosplay and at a con calls out a cast member from her favorite show for some deeply ableist comments, and then the entire internet goes after her, so she decides to take a job in Scotland working at a tiny bookshop to get away from it all, but then one of the actors from the show decides to go home for a few months and to surprise his sister, who happens to be the owner of the bookshop, and so they end up having to share an apartment, and you know where this is going. It is such a fun read. I always love when I get to review fluffy romance because it's such a nice break from the media I usually have to consume for the series, but this one in particular also felt very healing. It is what some people would consider to be an interabled relationship in that she's autistic and he's not, but he has significant anxiety and they both have a lot of trauma and they deal with it in a very healthy way and connect seamlessly with each other. They may not totally be able to read each other all the time or understand each other all the time, but they both work to try their best to do that, with the onus of that being on neither person individually. I also loved how they had extra levels of consent in there where he would ask if it was okay to touch her when she was overwhelmed, which I guess is the bare minimum, but most of my peers are fairly used to being told it's rude when they flinch away from touch, or that expecting very explicit consent for everything is too much, and it was really cool to see that work on a page and realize it's not clunky or weird or too much, it's just basic human decency. This book also had just the right amount of explaining experience so as to be relatable and be like, I feel like that too, but not so much as to feel shoehorned in or taking you out of the story at all. Is very on brand with how, like, the level at which autism exists in my thought processes rather than how much it's in other thought processes when they look at me, if that makes any sense. Also, it has such a great understanding of how the press and social media operate and are utilized, and utilize them very properly throughout the book, which is also so rare in media right now. So yeah, go check this one out. It's great. Let me know what you think.